Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Austin's Strange Stories from the 15th Dimension, or Akira. And now, here's your host, Austin.
Hello everyone, my name is Austin, and boy have I got a story to tell you. And I know you just love hearing these stories, don't you?
No!
Really? You're just now gonna start busting my balls like this? Is that it?
Yep.
Well, at least you're honest about it. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you a story that's based on true events. These true events are documented by one man who talked about how he and his friends tried owning a skate park when he was relatively young, and how everything just went pretty much downhill because the police had to be called at least 4 times, and the man got set on fire. So with that, we will discuss the whole thing about how... No wait, I can't just tell you that story. So instead I'm going to add my own spin on it. And that in certain events, so hopefully this man doesn't try to sue me. Because I really don't feel like dealing with lawsuits. So with that, it's time to tell you a story about Larry's Funhouse. Now, the story of Larry's Funhouse centers on 4 people. Those being Doc Boy, Tony, Gerusso, and Steve. Let me try that again. I'm going to need to apologize beforehand, as I might need my phone as a reference here. But the 2 main characters of the story are Doc Boy and Tony, who live in a small town located in Rhode Island, where in that small town, there was a little place called Larry's Funhouse, which was a place similar to, say, a Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz Pizza. Something like that. Where from 1976 to 1991, it was fairly dominant, what's the difference? In terms of an amusement center before its eventual closure in 1996 due to diminishing returns. In its prime, it had the following things. It had an array of arcade games, an air hockey, a pool table, a bowling alley, bumper cars, and in the back, a mini golf course and skate park, which also even had a stage often reserved for local bands or special events, which even included a comedy performance courtesy of the late George Carlin. However, as more competition came in, Larry's Funhouse failed to keep up, and eventually his founder, Larry Fulton, had to close the place, while the ramps began to deteriorate along with the mini golf course and the bowling alley. And most of the arcade games, the pool table, and the air hockey table were returned to a local warehouse. During this time, Tony had worked at Larry's, where he had the keys to the whole place, from the indoor area where all the games would be, to the outdoor area where the skate park and mini golf course were located, and mostly charged people admission and made sure he didn't see anyone doing drugs or any illegal contraband from behind the corner, typically working on weekends. Sorry, I had something funny to intersperse in between these clips, but I lost my idea for that thing, so here I am. Anyway, after the place closed, Tony still had the keys, and he, Doc Boy, and their friends Caesar and DB would often go to Larry's and party, complete with plenty of beer and pizza. And Doc Boy would usually park his car, which was a Chevrolet Suburban, complete with barn doors, inside the skate park, and he and DB would sleep in his car and then just leave the next day. And then one day, just 5 months after Larry's had shut its doors, the guys decided, let's take over the joint and run it ourselves, for which each of them got money together in order to try and buy the place, only for them to come up short. Then DB had an idea hatch in his mind. He then suggested, let's hold a concert and raise some money. The guys immediately seconded the idea, so Tony went down to one location to try and get the power back on, while Doc Boy asked several bands to come and try and make the show work, which included one band called Iceman Fireball, a glam rock inspired group led by a dude named Charlie McGee and his girlfriend Doris Wilder. Eventually, several bands signed on to do this show, ranging from southern rock-inspired bands to those inspired by the likes of Black Sabbath and Metallica, to those who performed synthesized covers of Hank Williams and Ray Charles, to punk rock renditions of songs by Kenny Loggins and Madonna. Mostly the Loggins and Messina era Kenny Loggins, nothing beyond that. Well, minus I'm alright. Anyway, so the show is set, or was set, with the schedule being set to run from 11:30 a.m. to up around, say, midnight. And maps were set up to tell people where to park in case the whole parking lot got filled to the brim with cars. Or in case someone had booze. In that case, the map included a business area, a forest, and a car park. So come the day of the festival, and Tony talked with the people that provided Larry's with electricity and were set to turn it on the day of the festival, but the power never came on. It was at least 9:37, and the show was set to start in at least 2 hours. At which point, Doc Boy, Tony, and DB started panicking, because if you got no power, you can't party. Then Caesar said, Hey, Tony, didn't you say this place used to... Can't remember the line. Hey, Tony, didn't you say this place had special generators to power this place in case of an emergency? Tony then said, Well, yeah, but that's only because this place was originally going to be some kind of department store or something. And God only knows if those work or not. Doc Boy then decided, well, it's either we try to get the generators working, or there ain't gonna be no party because there ain't no electricity here, and I say we should go down there and get these damn things working. So they went into the generator room, which looked like it hadn't been used in a very long time, and saw that generators somehow had some form of power left in them, and there was a switch. Doc Boy flipped the switch, praying and hoping that it would work, and, like a miracle, the power switched on and the place was lit up like a Christmas tree. With power on, the bands began gathering and people began showing up, ranging from preppy types, kids, to metalheads, street punks, dudes dressed like cowboys, nerds, jocks, and those who just wanted to skate. As DB and Tony did some work on most of the ramps, so to ensure that they were skatable and they were ready to party. Charging $10 for entry and whipping up cheeseburgers, hot dogs, burritos, nachos, ice cream, and cookies, and serving up drinks that range from high seafood punch and Kool-Aid, regular water, milk, lemonade, and soda that include Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Sprite, Orange Fanta, and root beer. Insert your SpongeBob SquarePants clip here. The whole thing was going off without a hitch, with Iceman Fireball performing their signature songs, Spider-Man of New York, and Kissing on a Zeppelin. And then around 1:50, the cops showed up, so Doc Boy, who was the main spokesman alongside Tony, went out to address them, where it was like, Hi, we noticed that there were some people going to a local grocery store and they've been doing some stealing stuff. Could you maybe tell them to go park somewhere else so that way they don't go stealing stuff from the grocery store, please? Hold on a second. And Doc Boy was just like, sure, no problem, officer. And so they went about it, and then they were just like, I made sure to relay the message, waved by the officers, and they continued to party. And continued to watch the stuff from the upstairs area of the skate park to keep an eye on certain things. When we even saw one guy put an external pool in the area where the mini golf course sat, and then proceeded to fill it with water from the fire hose, which filled quickly. It then gets into the evening. Then around the evening time, around 7:45, someone starts claiming, "The cops are coming! The cops are coming!" Doc Boy then raced down past those partying inside, even outside, where the officers were standing there telling him about the potential of kids doing some underage drinking. Because we don't need no underage drinking going on here. And I don't blame them. Don't drink, kids. It's a bad idea. Doc Boy then assured them that there was nothing going on like that. Nothing like that was going on here. Which, as you can tell, was a complete and utter load of crap. As they were definitely doing some drinking. They were just very good at hiding it. In fact, one woman who picked herself the leader of the group wound up missing a shoe, friends, purse, keys, car, or basically a whole lot of stuff. She was crying, mascara's running down her face, and she was even like, ha 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 ha! I gotta pee! Not anymore! She's just walking out going like, I'm so wasted! Who the hell is gonna walk me now? And then that's where one guy shows up. He's like, what's up? You say, ladies, bring a man with you. Even if you think he's like, you might need a man. You need a man with you to make sure that you do not drink too much, or at least you can have someone drive you home. Trust me, that comes in handy. Also, there was this one redheaded chick who had a horse tattooed on her butt. And by the end, and ended up falling into the external pool because by the end of it, she was completely and utterly naked. At first, she was wearing a tube top and a pair of jeans and some horse riding boots. By the end, she is nude. And I'm totally not referencing any particular redheads with some fascination with horses of any kind. I'm totally not mentioning anybody here who I watch on Twitch or anything like that, whose husband is also a Twitch streamer that I mostly know for doing random Let's Plays with two other guys in some other part of the world. $15 says this person's gonna watch that, and they were like, he knows I exist. How did I not know this guy exists? What are we even talking about anymore? Let's get back on track. Alright, let's see if I can try and pick up the story. I'm tired. Nevertheless, the officers warned him about any underage drinking and soon left afterwards, where the party continued on. Doc Boy even managed to score with this one chick after his previous girlfriend broke up with him. In fact, I think this is how the breakup went.
One night we're in the room and she's like, ooh, what are you gonna do to me? And I was like, you're gonna get it. Stop doing that.
That's my guess of how Doc Boy broke up with his girlfriend. Trust me, I know from experience. I scared my girlfriend once in bed. Anyway, 10:15 then begins to roll around. Their money's raking in, the bands are playing, the people are jamming and having a ball, and then the police once again rear their ugly head. By the way, I should have mentioned this before, but if you hear police, and you all of a sudden hear a woo, generally two things will pop in your head. One is, I'm fine, I got this, I can handle this. Or the other is, woo, I'm going to jail. Oh no, I'm going to jail. Like Peggy Hill. Anyway. For which, Doc Boy then goes to see what they want now, where they can get reports about noise disturbances. In fact, it went something like this. Son, we have reports of noise disturbances coming around here, and you can't have these big old things of decibels playing at this time of night. We're going to have to ask you to tone down the music a little. And then Doc was just like, sure, no problem, don't worry about it, we'll handle it. He then goes to tell a band called Tarantula, a metal band inspired by Slayer and Pantera, to play real quietly while he closes the doors and soundproofs the place, which they obliged, as Doc Boy and DB activated a special device in the wall around the skate park and everything else that renders the place practically soundproof. allowing the band to play as loud as they please. The police soon then leave, and Tarantula continues to play before a man named Bobby the Android comes on, performing an electronic rock rendition of the Eagles' Tequila Sunrise. Then finally, it seems to be going well. Everyone's in the home stretch of things. Everything was going fine until one man began exclaiming, "Fire! Fire! There's a fire going out there! There's a man on fire right outside here! Come quick! Come quick!" Everyone then gathered outside, and right then and there was one guy on fire, burning like a type of flame that arises in one person's heart when they fall in love. Doc Boy then asked the question to a particular man who wasn't clearly there for the show, and was simply there just because. That question being, who are you, what on earth are you doing here, and why the hell did you set him on fire? And then, one more thing I forgot to add in there. Are you some kind of idiot? The man then said, "Well, the kid said that he wanted to set on fire, so I thought I would chip in and make him look all nice and crispy, just like Richard Pryor running down the street." Doc Boy then facepalmed, groaned, and then said, "It's over. It's all over. We're screwed. We're more screwed than Tuesday." He knows someone was going to call an ambulance, and that the police were then going to come for a fourth time, and that there was no way he could keep the festival going until midnight. Tony then grabbed a stage microphone, and then proceeded to rant, stating, "You stupid, incompetent oafs! Are you retarded or something? Do we just not do anything for you? We came here to put on a festival for you, to entertain you, to bring you all joy. And this is the thanks we get? Setting people on fire like it's a goddamn camping trip, and we need a stinking fire just to roast wieners off of? You respected the other amusement center. Why don't you respect this one? You don't respect Larry's Funhouse. To you, this place is a dump. And you won't care if this place gets bulldozed one day and in its place comes a McDonald's or a Walmart. To you, it's nothing. And nothing is what you all are. You pieces of degenerate crap." Upon finishing his rant, an ambulance soon arrived, as did the authorities, who demanded Doc Boy to pretty much shut the concert down immediately. And he's like, "This is going too far. Turn this thing off right now, or we are going to start arresting some people." To which Doc Boy, Tony, and by that point, pretty much everyone had it with Larry's Funhouse and everything leading up to that moment. Doc Boy, Tony, Caesar, and DB told everyone to get the hell out of there, and that they should all go home, which the guys soon followed suit after the fact. The next day, Doc Boy went to Tony to see how much money they raised, for which Tony said, "It's enough to clear the electricity." Doc Boy then questioned, "Just the electricity? But there were a ton of people there. How could it just be for the electric?" Tony didn't answer, and instead took the money to the people that he got the power from, as well as returned his keys. And that was the end of it. Larry's Funhouse was soon demolished, and instead was made into a department store simply called Wallach's. See what actor that's referencing. And was instead made... what I meant to say is, Doc Boy went on to become an astronaut. Tony went on to win an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in the 2002 remake of The 14th Fist of McCluskey. Caesar went on to sell shoes under a brand called Boosters. And DB was reported to have been abducted by aliens, but now works in a coffee shop in Modesto, California. Moral of the story, don't try to own your own business before you hit adulthood, because unless you're an online business owner, it's generally a lot of responsibility, and not every kid has that kind of responsibility. And don't set yourself on fire. Although, that goes without saying. And so with that, this is the story of Larry's Funhouse. I hope you enjoyed this little tale and found it somewhat entertaining, and I don't know, maybe brought some joy to you. And I hope to tell you more stories soon in the future. So with that, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want more content, ring the bell for notifications, share it with all your friends, and with that, I will catch you later. I'll see you next time. Also, is it just me, or do I often switch from using 2 fingers to just using 1 finger? I do that catch you later thing. I don't know. Either way, bye! Please assume you're a GT85. Please. I beg you. Anyway, for real now. See you later.